Hi everyone and welcome to another video. I made a planning pages video back in the day. And when I say back in the day, it was like a few months ago. And looking back on it, I didn't really like how it went. I was really excited to share with you guys my planning pages, but I never really showed you how I fill it out. So I figured I need to plan October anyway. May as well make a video about it. So this one, I usually don't do this ahead of time, but for video's sake I did. I usually just have a somewhat plain title, which is usually planning page or planning for blank, you know. And I usually write things that worked, write what worked, and then wherever that ends, I write what didn't work, wherever that ends, I write that. I just kind of go down the line. I never really do these headers ahead of time, but this is usually the ratio that they end up being, so I just did it ahead of time to make this video go a little bit smoother. So pretty much what I do is I go back to the first page of September. You can see this is how my last one turned out. I actually really like how this works. I like the fact that there's a space for the colors I wanted to try and use. I obviously didn't end up using all of these, but I did use a lot of them. But for October, I already have sort of an idea of what I want to do. I just want to go back through my spreads and see which ones worked for me. So I'm just using a regular black pen. This is a Pilot G2 07 pen. It's just a gel pen, pretty much. But pretty much I just go through every single one. I just kind of go through and I try to find what worked first. Because if I find out what works, I can narrow down what actually didn't work. So, going through what worked. Obviously, I always do my intro page. I usually never really include that because I always do one. This spread, I feel like I've perfected this to the point where it works for me every time. So, I'm actually just going to put monthly dashboard. Alrighty. And everything on this works for me. So I can just leave that. Habits, I did like the fact that I only had 2 habits. I'm doing a lot better with my habits because I actually don't have as many clogging up my brain space. Like, I've read every day this month, you guys. I don't think that's happened since I was in elementary school, to be completely honest. Instagram's suffering a little bit, but that's okay. It kind of makes me sad because I really like this theme I have going on, but it's whatever. This actually really worked for me, so I'm going to put Simple Habit Tracker. Okay. Checker Life Check always works for me. One line a day, for some reason, this month did not really work for me. I mean, across the board, I've been catching up, like, every few days. Like, I haven't really done my bullet journal daily this month. I kind of want to give one line a day another try, but I think I'm going to do it differently to see if that works. So, we're going to try it again. Plus mood tracker, because I really like the fact that the mood goes with it. Self-care tracker, definitely going to be adding that one. And I will actually have a video going over that tracker very soon. Change page, I pretty much have to do. It's kind of not as prominent now because there's not as much going on in my life, but I do still like to have it because, you know, a little change happens every month. I just like to record it, and I'm going to be doing a big project with these pages, so I kind of have to have it, but I still go back and check on it every once in a while. The quotes page, I'm not really gonna continue. I don't really look at it. I just wanted it for this theme. Memories page, love it. I can't believe I forgot to do that in August. So I'm gonna add that to my list. These dailies I actually really like. And I did them all month, and I'm going to be doing something similar in October, so I think I'll just write my daily style. As you can see, this doesn't really take very much time at all. It's just flipping through that gives it a little bit more time. The one-page weeklies I used that are inspired by Caitlin of Sunshine Stationery. I've changed them up a little bit, and for the last week of September I'm trying something a little bit different. So I can always change, like if this works better for me than this one does, I can always change it. But I do like this. I just wished I used it more. I know I for sure use the things to-do list the most out of everything in the checkup thing. But as for the weekly overview, I don't really use it that much, but I want to try and get in the habit of doing it. So I'll say it technically worked for me because things on it did work, and I do like how it looks. So I guess I'll just do that. And another thing I'll do too is, like, you saw that I liked certain parts of this, but not all of it. I'll still write that it worked for me, but I'll specifically write in what didn't work for me on this spread, if that makes sense. And I can say, like, the to-do and the checkup worked for me. And I can do that too, where it specifically tells me what worked for me, or I could do the vice versa, or both, in telling me what didn't work. This was a good idea in my head, but now that I look at it, I don't think it's really working, and I think I actually did the numbers wrong on these. So it's a little bit messed up, but it'll work. And after I do sort of like the spreads, I kind of just do a little quick rollback to little things like if I want to continue doing these specific to-do lists, or, you know, like stepping stones, if I want to keep doing those or if I want to change them. I do like these three. They're working really well. And the important dates thing I really like. I kind of want to tweak this just because I almost never use all of them. And now the second I say that, I'm going to change it. I'm going to need all of them. Because on my monthly dash, I usually have a track of my savings, because I save every week. My ideal YouTube schedule for the month, and my current book I'm reading, I try to have like a chapter list because I'm trying to have one book done per month. That's a goal for me. And so far I've been able to keep up with it. I actually finished this one within a month's time. And I actually moved on to another book about a week ago. And I'm actually halfway done with that one. So I might, part of me wants to try a page where I just have like these lists every month. I kind of want to do a reading tracker page where I just track multiple books, but I really only read one book at a time anymore. So again, these are just things that I think about whenever I look at this kind of stuff. I might try and squeeze stuff together, or since I probably won't have this kind of stuff, I'll be able to write an extra one, so I might have an extra space for that. I'm not really sure. I do like all of these quotes because whenever I turn to these pages, I do look at them. I like the colored week. Go up here. I like the colored calendar week on my mini calendar. I was highlighting it, but then I I'll show you a difference. I was highlighting it like this, but then it kind of blended in with everything else, where if I just wrote the numbers in color, I felt like I could see it better. So I liked that better than what I was doing before. So I wrote that up there. I also liked the little decorations I had everywhere. So oh, and my 3 positive things. So as you can see, I kind of go broad, and then I kind of go with smaller things that I really liked to pinpoint what truly works for me. I did my 3 positive things every day, and it really does help me. So I think that's about all I have left for things that worked for me. Again, a lot of things, that's why I have that section bigger. And now I can go through and kind of pick apart what didn't work. And this is important because if you can admit what didn't work for you, you can move on faster to something else, from my experience. So what I noticed didn't work was this color scheme, or the color code. And my didn't work section usually isn't that big, so I don't really think about it too much. Closed in 1 line a day. And I usually try to be more specific in what didn't work, so that way the more specific I am, the more I will be able to fix it, you know what I mean? Oh, I also liked how I did this month. I think I can get that though from that. Things I want to change. Part of me kind of wants to put my change page and do like more of a half a page and have half a page for something else. Maybe that's what I could do. I could have like half a reading tracker, half a change. Ooh. Let's see, full page, change page. Okay. This kind of worked. And now in this section I can put like that the weekly overview didn't really work for me. And next month I think I'm actually just gonna try and go day by day rather than week by week. Just to try it out, see how it works. Oh, I actually didn't like this purple color, so I'm gonna put that I didn't like the purple color. Okay, looking through these last couple pages here. I can already tell this probably isn't going to work for me, but I'm not going to write it down just yet. So again, you can see didn't work was actually smaller than the things that did work, so that's always a good thing, because obviously whenever I first started, my didn't work section was a lot bigger than my what worked section, because I was still trying things out. But now that I know what kind of works for me, this section's a lot smaller. And now the things to try section, I usually go back to previous planning pages and we'll actually look at those things I want to try, because things that I want to try, on the previous one, I can actually cross off if I actually did try it. So I tried the 1-page weeklies. I tried the 1 a day in mood and the 3 positive things every day. So pretty much from that I can see what I've tried, and obviously I've seen what worked and what didn't work with those things. So now I can change that, and now I can either transfer these over, or if I'm over these ideas I can just leave them in the past, you know. And actually I don't think any of those things I really want to try, because my monthly works so well for me. So I'm actually just going to, I usually look through and see what I would like to try with certain things. For example, if I want to try different habits. Part of me actually wanted to try and do a huge habit tracker to see if maybe I had more things on it that I would have to look at every day if I would do more of the habits every day. So I might actually try the massive habit tracker just to see if it works. And then for usually the rest of this, I will actually go on my phone into my collections. And in my collections on Instagram, I have different folders that I can actually look through and see what collections I want to try, decorations, monthly stuff, weekly stuff. I have different things in here that I like to look through to see if there's anything I would actually like to try for my next month. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just look through these, see if I see anything that stands out, and I will get back to you. Alrighty, I went through my Instagram collections and I found a couple things that I really did like and I wanted to maybe try in October. October is going to be another sort of experiment month, but also not really at the same time. It'll mainly be experimental with the weekly daily part of it rather than the monthly pages. And if I found anything on Instagram that was from a specific user that was obviously their idea, I wrote their username next to the idea so I can credit them properly, because stealing an idea, posting it without credit is not okay. Like, if you find an idea, be sure to credit that person, because that's just the right thing to do. No one wants their idea stolen. Even if you're just doing it for yourself and not exploiting it in any way, it's not okay to share it without letting people know where the original source is. So, just a little FYI for you there. I wrote down the massive habit tracker I wanted to try. I found some weekly tasks from Sun Lanterns. I found a split monthly from Nada's journal. I saw a lot of circular intro pages lately that I really wanted to kind of try. And not that I want to try any specific one, I just want to circle for October, because that's what I did in my first journal too, in my first bullet journal, so I kind of want to keep the theme of being circular in October. So I just have circular intro page. I really liked on one of Planning with Kay's habit trackers that she had like two of the chubby monthlies like I have, like these, but then she also had a row over here of a different habit. I really liked how that looked and how it was just different, not to see just all bar graph, all calendar, you know, it had like different shapes of trackers in it. So I really liked that, so I figured I would put that on this, and whether I use it in October or not, depending on if I want to use the massive habit tracker or not, I can always look back on it for November and see if I want to try it then, depending on if the massive habit tracker works for me or not. And then I just want to try different daily headers, because although I like how uniform all of these looked in September, I really do want to try different styles and different sort of like decorating techniques. October is going to be really plain, just because I went really hardcore with the colors for this month, and I kind of just want to go back to something simple for a little bit. So those are things I want to try. And then at the bottom part, I have a new section that's I've only used for the last month. Like, that's what I used for that's what I used for September. Whenever I was planning September, I had this color scheme thing. Plus I had a decorations section, because I knew I was going to decorate a lot in this month, and I wanted sort of a game plan. Where now with October, I'm not really going to have too much of a game plan. I'm just going to kind of go with the one color I want to use and go with that. I didn't see... I have a decorations section on my Instagram collections, and all I saw were really just like positive quotes and stuff I wanted to put, because I'm not upgrading, but I am kind of being shoved to the wolves at work, and I need positive quotes. So pretty much I'm just going to put positive quotes as often as I can. Probably again on my monthly pages or on my if I'm definitely going to have to separate my dailies from week by week, because that's just how my brain works. As much as I just want to do 1 through 30 all the way through the pages for next month, I'm definitely going to have some sort of signifier that says this is the end of this week, because again, that's just how my brain works. That's just how it works for me. So I'll probably end up having some sort of divider page for each week, even though I don't really want it to be a massive one. Again, I might just have half a page where it's just sort of a weekly overview and then just continue with dailies afterward. I actually think that would kind of work. So I might actually just write that over here where I have like a half page weekly, because I don't think I've seen that before, to be completely honest. Then dailies. Okay. See, and as I go through the list, I'm finding more things that I want to add to what worked, what didn't work, what I want to try, that kind of stuff. And that's just kind of the fun of pre-planning for me, is the fact that I can, you know, it's still not set in stone. And really nothing with bullet journaling is set in stone. But it's just nice to get sort of an overview of what I want it to sort of look like. And then at the end of the month, I can see what it actually turned out to be. And then I can plan for the next month. So that's just what's important to me when it comes to pre-planning. And that's why I kind of wanted to share sort of a real-time video of me doing it, because it really doesn't take that long. And I feel like more people should do it. I mean, nobody has to, and if that doesn't work for you, it obviously doesn't work for you. But if I see a lot of people who say they struggle with trying to figure out what will work for them before the month actually starts, this is a good way to do it, and I think it's a foolproof way. Just doing a little once over here to see if I find anything. Oh, I can write that the lunch menus did not work for me, because I felt like I was taking a lot of food to work, when in reality, since I'm only part-time, I mean, I have 2 jobs, but my main one I'm only part-time at, so I was really only having to take snacks on Tuesday and a full lunch on Wednesday. And by the time I figured out what I wanted, it was that day. So pre-planning my lunches wasn't exactly working out. And that's okay. I mean, I went and got a bunch of lunches that are actually a lot healthier. So hopefully it might still work for me. I might jot a little note down on the daily or something to see if it'll work. But I don't need a whole section for it anymore on my dailies, which is nice, because on this one I actually just opted out of it, and I like how it looks a lot better. Let's see, so other decor and stuff, I'm not really having a theme per se, I'm just having a color scheme. So my color scheme is pretty much going to be this Tombow. It's sort of a pale orange color, and I love it. It's $8.73 in Tombow. It's just, wow, that looks neon on camera. It's just a nice pale orange color. I really like how it looks. You know, October is Halloween month. Everyone's doing the bright orange and the really dark grays and the black, and I just wanted something different that wasn't stereotypical to Halloween, so I'm gonna write 873. I don't have a lot of Tombows, so it's easy for me to remember, but if I ever want to go back and look, I have a little thing right there that I can look at and know for sure this is the color I used. Because I know a lot of them look somewhat similar, so it's good to always, you know, label it just in case. I actually didn't do that on my September one. I just wrote down that these were Crayola, these were Tombow, blah, 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 blah. And I actually kind of wish I would have labeled them, because it would have made it a lot easier for me. At least with the Crayola, it would have helped, because a lot of the Crayolas are similar. And depending on how I feel, these pages can be either super elaborate like my September one, or they can be super simple like this one. Other than that, I think just the colored, let's see, colored daily headers with black accents. So I'm still going to be doing like the orange and black. It's just my orange is a pastel kind of orange. It's actually more of a peachy color than an actual orange, so I like it. And plus orange is my favorite color, so I'm okay with any version of orange, to be completely honest. And then sometimes if I'm feeling a little bit experimental, I'll actually do like a little practice one. So for example, if I have a Monday, I'm still practicing with tombos, by the way, so I apologize. And then, for example, I want to do just a simple full outline. So for this page, for this section, it's kind of like a little practice area where I can practice what I want to maybe put into the next month. Which is good because, you know, if you're like me and you want to know everything ahead of time, this is a good idea to even if you don't do the rest of the planning page, just a little area that you can practice and just see what works for you and what feels comfortable. It's a good idea because it puts your mind at ease a little bit whenever you're actually planning your month. This pen's actually almost out of ink, I think. There. So see, I can practice with dailies like that. I can have this be a whole practice page if I really wanted it to. I'm not going to though, because this is hopefully going to be my October start page because I like starting on this page. It just works with my monthly setup better. And then, for example, if I had any washi tape that I wanted to use, I could do little swatches over here. I actually did that for this last March. I did a whole spread like this where I did like a whole washi tape section because I wanted to do certain colors of washi tape. Didn't know which ones would look good together, but I was able to practice and I was able to see which ones look good together. So that's another thing you can do if you have stickers or anything like that. That can work as well. I know I have a lot of stickers from Planning with Kay. Her Etsy shop is amazing. Go check it out. It's really affordable, fast shipping. It's amazing. And her style is just so cute, and she has little like whole like theme sheets, so you can get like a pack and it could last you a whole month. It's awesome. But if I want to try some of those, I could like jot this down over here. I could write that I want to try her stickers this month, because I'm really bad at buying stickers thinking they're really too pretty to use, and then I end up not using them at all. So I'm gonna try and break that habit with her stickers. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much how I do my whole planning page. Hopefully this cleared up how these actually work. I know my last video I was kind of just show and telling them to you. I wasn't really showing you how they actually work or how they came about. And I really just thought it would be important to share in case someone actually needed this, you know, skill set or needed this to be able to do things or to be able to plan their month. So hopefully this was clear enough. If nothing was you know, mentioned, or if I went off on a tangent somewhere and I didn't fully explain something, please let me know in the comments. I will be happy to reply to you, and I will be happy to clear anything up if anything was confusing, or if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask. If you don't want to comment on YouTube, you can also just shoot me a message on Instagram. My link is down below, and I will put everybody I mentioned down in the description box if you want to see what I was talking about here. And I will link to a couple other videos probably within the video with the time cards, just so you can get a full effect of the pre-planning process that I personally do. If you enjoyed, click the thumbs up button. It helps me with search results and lets me know what videos you guys like better. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. I usually post on Fridays, but I don't promise every Friday just because life gets in the way. And if you want to know when I upload, hit the little bell next to the subscribe button because that'll give you alerts of whenever I upload, and it'll give you notifications. Let me know if you try this process. I really enjoy it. It's just like a fun little, you know, time I can use for myself to plan my next month. I really only spent not like maybe half an hour on this, and that's not that much time. And even if I wasn't explaining it to you guys, it would probably only take me 15-20 minutes max. But because I was explaining things and I was trying to entertain you guys, it took a little bit longer, but hopefully this was a nice video. Even if you're planning along with me, you enjoyed and you were able to relax and plan and maybe get some ideas. And again, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!